Hello everybody, happy Thursday. We are going to go ahead and get started on some of our Superkids stuff. So the first part that we're going to do is just going to be you answering some questions. Now I know that I won't be able to hear you, but I still want you to say it. I want you to say it with me, okay? It's the only way you're going to be able to learn. We're going to blend some sounds together. This is the stuff that we do whenever we're in split group and we're sitting on our sit spots, and I write some letters on the smart board, and then we blend, we sound out the sounds together, and then we say it fast, okay? So that's what I want you to do. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna write the letters S, and if you wanna write this too on a piece of paper, that might not be a bad idea either. You can, but you don't have to, because I'm gonna write it. So S-A-D. Okay? That says the word. Let's sound it out together. Ready? S-ad. Say it fast. Sad. All right, sad. Now I want to think of a word that rhymes with the word sad. If you have one in your head, I want you to go ahead and say it out loud. There could be rad, mad, tad, fad, lad. Anything else? Well, I'm going to write this word. Add. Mad. Sad and mad rhyme. All right, let's do another one together. How about if I write the word H-A-T. Let's say the sounds together. Ready? At. Say it fast. Hat. Good. Now let's think of a rhyming word with it. Hat. Cat, bat, mat, fat, sat, rat. All right, but I'm going to write the word. I'm going to write it under it. Okay. So we've got hat. Now let's sound this one out. Ready? Mat, mat. Do hat and mat rhyme? Yes, they rhyme. Good. All right, let's do one more. Let's do the letter R-A-N. Let's sound that word out together. Ready? R-A-N. Say it fast. Ran. All right, let's think of some words that rhyme with ran. There's can, fan, tan, van. I'm gonna write the word M-A-N. Let's sound it out. Ready? M-A-N. Say it fast. Man. Do ran and man rhyme? Yes, they rhyme. Very good. All right, now, instead of rhyming, we're just going to sound out some words together, okay? So I'm going to write the letters H-A-M. And then I'm going to write out H-I-M. And then I'm going to write out H-U-M. All right, so let's sound this one out together. Ready? Am, ham. Him. Hum. Good. All right, let's do a few more. See how fast we're going, just like we do in class. We sound those sounds out because they're ones we already know, and then we sound them out, and then we say it fast, okay? So I'm going to write M-A-N. Then I'm going to write M-E-S-S. And then I'm going to write M-I-S-S. Okay? So let's do the first one. Man, man. M-S, mess. Okay, now remember, when it's two letters together, does it go m-s-s, or do those two letters together just make one sound? They just make one sound. Just like our friend Emma Scott, she has E-M-M-A, and we would only say Emma Scott. We wouldn't say Emma Scott. And Scott, she has S-C-O-T-T. We wouldn't say Emma Scott. The two T's together only make one sound. So in mess, we only say one sound for S. All right, let's try this one. Ready? Is, all right, miss. Remember, these two S's, they only make one sound for miss. Okay? So, great job on those sounds. Those are all the sounds that we have learned. Well, they're not all of them, but that's a bunch of them that we have learned. Okay? All right. Now, I want you to go to your Superkids book, and I want you to turn to page 19 in your Superkids book. There should be the hunt written in the left-hand corner, and there should be a picture of Doc and Alf at the very top. All right, so go ahead and turn to page 19. We're going to read a story together and answer some questions. All right, so on page 19, you should have up at the top the hunt, and there should be some pictures right here. We're going to read this story together, and I'm going to stop the recording, the commentary where they're talking, and ask you some questions. All right, but I want you to follow along in your book with each word, okay? All right, so I'm going to start the hunt for us.
The hunt. Cass is the super noodle, or leader of the club today. She made a list of things for the Superkids to hunt or look for. The Superkids will work in teams. Each team must find and bring Cass something from the hunt list. Look at the top picture on page 19. Doc and Alf are a team. They are looking at the hunt list to see what they need to find. Listen as I read the top sentence. Doc and Alf must get a lemon. Where can they find a lemon? Listen as Doc says the words in her speech balloon.
Okay.
Dan sells lemons.
Now.
All right, so it says Dan sells lemons. All right, I want you to think about, where do you think Doc and Alf will get a lemon? Well, we learned that Dan sells lemons. So I think they're going to get them from Dan. All right, now I want you to come down to this box, the bottom box.
Oh, look at the bottom picture. Doc and Alf are visiting Dan, the fruit seller. They are asking Dan for a lemon. Listen as Dan says the words in his speech balloon.
A lemon fell. I cannot sell it.
Fantastic! Dan has a lemon that fell on the floor and was damaged, so he let Doc and Alf have it for free. Now turn to page 20.
All right, so why does Dan give Doc and Alf the lemon for free? Well, because the lemon fell and it got damaged, so Dan cannot sell the fruit anyway. So he's just going to be really nice and give it to them. All right, now I want you to turn in your book to page 20. It should look like this with Oswald and Lily. All right, go ahead and get there. If you're not there, you can just pause until you get there, okay? All right, let's find out what Oswald and Lily are doing.
Listen as I read the sentence in the top picture. Oswald and Lily must get a red mitten. Now look at the picture. Oswald has found a baseball mitt and a red glove. Lily is shaking her head no, because neither thing Oswald found was a red mitten. Listen to Lily say the word in her speech balloon.
No.
Now look at the...
All right, so what does Oswald show Lily? Well, it looks to me like he's showing her either a red glove or a baseball mitt. And is that what Lily is saying no to? Is she telling him no because she doesn't want a red glove or a baseball mitt? What is she wanting? She wants a red mitten. All right, now I want you to come down to the bottom of page 20. All right, here we go.
Bottom picture. Lily remembered that her little lion doll has a red mitten as a blanket on its bed. Listen as Lily says the words in her speech balloon.
The dog can lend us a mitten.
Now, listen as I read the top sentence on page 21.
Oh, hold on. So, the doll can lend us a mitten. Where does Lily find the red mitten? Well, look at the picture. She finds it on her lion's bed. That's the perfect mitten. All right, now I want you to go ahead and turn to page 21. There's going to be a picture of Sal and Golly up at the top. Okay? All right, let's listen to the top.
Sal and Golly must get a hot dog and bun. Look at the top picture. Sal and Golly are at a bakery. Sal knows he can buy a bun there, but bakeries don't sell hot dogs. Listen as Sal says the words in his speech balloon.
I can get a bun, but I cannot get a hot dog.
Now look at the...
All right, so think to yourself. As I read, I ask myself questions and I try to guess what is going to happen next. Right now, I ask myself, where will Sal get a hot dog? I know he can't get one at the bakery. But then I remember Doc and Alf got a lemon at the fruit stand, so maybe Sal will get a hot dog at a hot dog stand. Let's read to find out. So now I want you to go down to the bottom where Golly and Sal are. All right, let's follow this.
Bottom picture. Golly is running, which gives Sal a clever idea for a free hot dog. Listen as I read the two sentences at the top of the picture. And then Sal says the words in his speech balloon. Golly runs and gets hot. Golly is a hot dog.
Run, Golly, run!
That is silly. How does Sal get a hot dog? Well, he has Golly run around and get hot. Golly is now the hot dog. Do you think Cass will be surprised? Why or why not? Well, I think Cass is going to be surprised because she probably doesn't expect to get the kind of she probably expects to get the kind of hot dog that you're going to eat. All right, go ahead and turn to page 22 in your book where Tick and Tack are at the top. All right, let's find out what they're going to do.
Golly isn't the kind of hot dog you eat on a bun, but he is a dog, and running around makes him get hot. Cass sure will be surprised by what Sal and Golly found for their item. Now turn to page 22.
All right, 22 with Tick and Tack.
Listen as I read the top sentence. Tick and Tack must get lots of buttons. Now look at the top picture. Tack sees a dress, and she has an idea for getting the buttons. Listen as Tack and Tick say the words in their speech balloons.
I can cut off buttons.
No, Tack.
Tick didn't want Tack to spoil the dress. Tack has a better idea. Look at the...
All right, so what is Tack's plan for getting the buttons? Well, she's thinking she's going to cut them off the dress. Why doesn't Tick like this idea? Well, maybe because she thinks it's going to ruin the dress. She doesn't want the dress to be ruined. All right, now I want you to look down in the bottom box where Hot Rod now comes in. Okay, and follow along with this.
The bottom picture and listen as Tack says the words in her speech balloon.
Hot Rod can lend us buttons.
Listen as I read the top sentence on page 23.
All right, so before we go to 23, how are the buttons on Hot Rod's jacket different from the buttons on the dress? Well, look at the buttons on Hot Rod's jacket. Those are pinned on his jacket. And the buttons on the dress, those are sewed on. So, what is Tack's new plan for getting the buttons? I think Tack is thinking that Hot Rod's going to lend the buttons from the jacket. And why is that a better plan? Well, Hot Rod's buttons are pinned, so then it won't ruin the jacket when you take them off. I like that idea. Then you don't have to ruin a dress. All right, go ahead and turn to page 23 in your Super Kids book, and there should be Icky and Talk at the top of the page. And I want you to follow along, okay? All right, let's see.
Icky and Talk must get a comic. Look at the top picture. Icky and Talk look worried. Their pockets are empty. They don't have money to buy a comic. Listen as Icky says the words in his speech balloon.
A comic costs a lot.
Listen as I read the top sentence in the bottom.
All right, so why do Icky and Talk look upset? Well, they need to get a comic, but they don't have enough money to buy one. So, how do you know that they don't have any money to buy a comic? Well, look, Talk is pulling out his pockets, and so is Icky. That shows you that their pockets are empty, so they don't have any money. All right, now I want you to look at the bottom of page 23.
Picture. A comic is in the big can. Icky and Talk have a terrific idea for a free comic. They can use a comic that someone else has thrown away in a trash can. Reusing the thrown away comic for their hunt game is an excellent, thrifty solution. Listen as Icky and Talk say the words in their speech balloons.
It is a mess.
But it is still a comic.
Now turn to...
All right, so how did Icky and Talk get a comic without buying one? Well, it looks like they found one in the trash can. Oh, goodness. Now I want you to go ahead and turn to page 24 in your book. You should see up at the top, Etta, Betta, and Fritz. All right, follow along with Etta, Betta, and Fritz.
Listen as I read the sentence at the top of page 24. Etta, Betta, and Fritz must get globs of mud. Etta, Betta, and Fritz are at a great place to find a lot of mud. The pond. Fritz has an idea for how they should collect the mud. Listen to Fritz say the words in his speech balloon.
I can get a can and fill it.
Listen at...
So, where are Etta, Betta, and Fritz standing? Well, excuse me, sorry, y'all. Well, it looks like they're standing in a mud pile by a pond or a stream. Hold on. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry. Looks like they're standing in a mud pile next to a stream or a pond. What do Fritz and Edabetta need to find? Well, we know they're looking for globs of mud. What does Fritz think that they should do? Well, remember in his speech bubble, he says, we can get a can and we can fill it with mud. That sounds super silly, and it sounds like something that you all would like to do also, play in the mud. All right, now I want you to go down to that last, that bottom box where Edabetta looks like she fell in the mud. All right, listen.
As I read the first sentence in the bottom picture.
All right, right where Edabetta is.
Edabetta fell in the mud. Uh-oh. The mud is all over Edabetta's clothes. But Edabetta is smiling because she has a new idea for collecting mud for the hunt game. Listen as Edabetta says the words in her speech balloon.
I am the big glob of mud.
Now, look at page 20.
All right, so how do Edabetta and Fritz end up getting the mud? Well, Edabetta falls and she gets globs of mud all over herself. And they think that's pretty silly, don't they? I think that's pretty silly too. Have any of you ever fallen in the mud before? Maybe on purpose or maybe as an accident. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes if you're trying to go somewhere or maybe you have on some nice clothes or some nice shoes, falling in the mud is not always what your mom or dad want you to do. All right, I want you to go ahead and turn to page 25. You should see the Superkids bus and all the Superkids in the picture, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play it so you can hear the next part.
5. The Superkids finished finding the things on the hunt list and brought the items to Cass. Listen as I read the sentences at the top. Cass collects the stuff. The hunt has ended. The Superkids look happy. I think they liked going on the hunt. Listen as the Superkids say the words in their speech balloon.
A hunt is fantastic fun.
All right, so why has the hunt ended? Well, because they collected everything on Cass's list. And remember, Cass was the super noodle, so he's the leader. And do you think the Superkids liked the hunt? Yes, they liked the hunt because what did they say? Well, they said the hunt is fantastic fun. So they knew that they liked it. Great job on that. Now, we are going to turn to page 26 in our Superkids book. I'm going to go ahead and get to it also on our screen. Oh, not letter R. We're on letter M. Sorry. Let me get to page 26. It looks just like this. Cass, the super noodle, is up at the top. And it says in our speech bubble, the Superkids hunt for the stuff. Well, look, that word for is written in pink. And we learned a couple of weeks ago that the word for was a sight word. But do you guys remember that it wasn't spelled like the number 4? It is the word for when it means like you are giving something, you have something for someone, or you go for the Auburn Tigers or for the Georgia Bulldogs. It's not talking about the number 4. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on page 26. So you're going to need a pencil, so make sure that you have one. And as we're going through this, if you need to pause and circle your answer or give your kids a second to trace the word for, go right on ahead, okay? Just pause as you need to. But in the first picture, we see a picture of, it looks like, I'm going back to remember who was in the first part of the story. And it was Doc and Alf. And they hunt for, were they hunting for lemons or, that looks like peaches? An apple, lemon or an apple? Well, I remember they went to the lemon stand and the lemon fell down on the ground, so he wasn't gonna be able to sell it. So they were on a hunt for lemons. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna trace the word for and circle the lemon picture. Go ahead and do that now. Pause if you need to. All right, the next picture is Oswald and Lily. They hunt for, were they hunting for the mitten or the hat? Well, they were hunting for the mitten because Lily found it in her little lion's baby bed. So you're going to trace the word for and circle the red mitten. All right, the next picture is Sal and Golly, and they hunt for, was it a hot dog or cake? They're hunting for a hot dog. And remember, Golly got really, he ran around and got really hot, and so they were going to pretend like that was the hot dog that Cass was needing. So go ahead, and you are now going to trace the word for, and you're going to circle hot dog. All right, the next one is Tick and Tack are hunting for, do you remember, were they hunting for Buttons or Coconut the cat? They were hunting for the buttons because remember they were going to cut them off of a dress, but instead Hot Rod came to the rescue. Now look, there is no word for right here, so you are going to have to write it on your own. You know how to spell it though because it's up here for you. So you're going to write the F-O-R. Remember, it is very important for you to write it correctly. That lowercase f is going to start on the strawberry line, but that O and R need to be started on the vanilla line. Make sure that you write it correctly. And then we're circling that button picture. All right, the next one is Icky and Talk. And they were hunting for, were they hunting for flags or a comic book? Well, they were hunting for that comic book. Remember, they were looking and they found it in a trash can. So here you're going to write the word for, and then you're going to circle the comic book. And then that last one is Fritz and Etta Betta, and they were hunting for, were they hunting for mud or ladybugs? They were hunting for globs of mud. So you're going to write the word for and circle the mud picture. Good job, guys. So that should be all for today for Super Kids. They should have the completed the rhyming words and the blending words, and then the hunt story that we read together and answered some of the questions, and then this page 26 for Thursday's lesson. All right. As always, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks so much.